All right, so let's get right into it. If you've ever sponsored an immigrant to the United States by signing that affidavit of support, well, there's this critical, ongoing responsibility that, a lot of people just forget about. It's kind of like a contractual loose end that could have some pretty big consequences if you ignore it. So let me just ask you straight up. Did you sign an affidavit of support? That's Form I-864. And have you moved at any point since you signed it? If you're nodding your head yes to both of those, then you are definitely going to want to stick around for this. And here's the kicker. This isn't some new obscure rule they just came up with. Nope, it's actually written right there in the fine print of the contract you already signed with the US government, the I-864 itself. This is a real binding agreement. And that really gets us to the heart of the matter, right? These unseen, long-term legal duties that are just kind of buried in that affidavit of support. Let's really pull this apart and see what you actually agreed to. And we're going to start with the one form that pretty much everyone overlooks. Okay, and here it is. This is the form we're talking about. Form I-865, the sponsor's notice of change of address. I mean, its purpose is super simple, but also so important. It's just the official way you must inform the government. Hey, I've moved, so they can always get in touch with you about your sponsorship obligations. Right, so the big question is, when does this duty actually kick in? This timing detail trips up a lot of people. It's not the moment you sign the paper. It's a very specific trigger event that happens later on. Okay, so look at how this works. It's like a chain of events. First, you file the I-864. But notice, nothing happens yet. The clock isn't ticking. The real trigger, the thing that starts it all, is when the person you sponsored actually becomes a lawful permanent resident. The second they get that status, bam, your I-864 contract is officially active. And that means your duty to report your address changes is now officially on. And this is a really important point to remember. If that green card application is still waiting, still pending, your I-864 is basically asleep. It's dormant. So if you move while you're still in that waiting game, you don't have to file the I-865 yet, which is great because it saves you a bunch of unnecessary paperwork. All right, so let's get down to brass tacks. Once your obligation is live, what do you actually have to do to stay in compliance? It's really not that complicated, but there is one number, one deadline that you absolutely have to remember. 30 days. That's it. That is your window to get this done. It's a pretty tight turnaround, and it really shows you how seriously the government takes being able to contact sponsors. Yeah, the rule is crystal clear on this. The day you move into your new place, the clock starts. You have exactly 30 days to get that Form I-865 in the mail. And we're not talking about a business month or anything fancy. We mean 30 calendar days. So who has to file this thing? Simple. If you signed an I-864, this is for you. It doesn't matter if you were the main petitioning sponsor or a joint sponsor who helped with the income part. You both signed the same contract, so you're both on the hook. But hey, here's a bit of good news. If you happen to have sponsored a few different people, you only need to file one I-865. Just list everybody you sponsored on that one form. Let's run through a few quick facts about actually filing this thing. First off, there's no fee. It's free. $0. Now, what if you're late? Don't panic. You should absolutely still file it. It's much better to be late than to never file at all. Just, it's a good idea to attach a little note explaining why you're late. Also, you don't need to send in any proof like a utility bill. And last but not least, and this is super important, always keep a copy for yourself along with proof that you mailed it. Okay, so this is what you're probably wondering. What if you just forget or never even knew you had to do this? What really happens if you don't file this form? This is where things get interesting, because there's what the law says can happen, and then there's what we actually see happening in the real world. If you look at the rule book, it's pretty stark. The government can fine you for not reporting your new address. and that fine can get even bigger if they find out the person you sponsored was getting public benefits and you still didn't report your move. But here's the reality check. Experts will tell you that it's actually pretty rare for them to go after someone just for a late I-865. The real takeaway here isn't to blow it off, but to understand that doing the right thing, even if you're late, is always the best move. Okay, let's wrap this all up with a super simple step-by-step checklist. This is what you do every single time you move, as long as your sponsorship duty is active. Step 1, go to the official government website and get the newest version of Form I-865. Don't use an old one you have saved. Step 2, fill out the whole thing. Don't leave any blanks. Step 3, print it out and sign it with an actual pen, black ink only. No digital signatures here. Step 4, stick it in an envelope and mail it to the address they give you on the website. And finally, step 5, please don't skip this one, make a copy of everything and keep your mailing receipt. You know, using certified mail is a really smart idea here because it gives you that tracking number and absolute proof that you sent it. So when you boil it all down, it's really about a shift in perspective. Signing that affidavit of support, that wasn't the finish line. That was the starting gun for a very long-term responsibility. Taking care of this one simple form is a small thing, for sure, but it's a huge part of holding up your end of the deal. It's about making sure a tiny loose end from the past doesn't unravel into a big problem for you later on.